What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Dead on Dave, and it is Tuesday, and your daily focus today is, of course, your Monday Night Raw review. And my microphone is all messed up right now. Yeah. What a Raw we had last night. I mean, for good or bad, there was a lot to talk about. I was not particularly happy with the Raw. A lot of people seem to be, which was odd. The Joe Cronin Show, which is like a beacon of negativity, usually from the fans and from the crew, everybody who was calling in was universally saying how happy they were with the show. And I'm sitting here like, what? What? But it's okay. I'm here to make sense of it all, at least for myself, and you guys can wade through the bullshit. So get ready, get set. It's time to get Daved in the face, because we're going into the copious amounts of notes. That's right. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. Starts off, Brock Lesnar comes out. My God, House of Fire. Lesnar is pissed off, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I love seeing Brock Lesnar like this. This is the Brock Lesnar we want to see. And it was real simple. He had a few words for Triple H, came out to interrupt him. And you said, you fix this or we fight. And I like that. Now I want a fix this or fight shirt. I want a fix this or fight shirt, and I want it now because it's great. It's fantastic. We were pretty certain that Lesnar was not going to put his hands on Triple H because been there, done that, but it was cool. Rollins comes Rollins doesn't even come down. He just gets on the video feed on the Titantron, which I found interesting because, all last week was about how he's not afraid of Lesnar. And this episode, after he made his move last week, it was kind of all about how he was afraid of Lesnar. And the one thing that I could not escape, like the thought that kept running through my head was, Jesus, I want to see a program of just Rollins and Lesnar. There is no question to me that Rollins is the first of the three guys from the Shield, of Rollins, Reigns, and Ambrose. Rollins is the first guy to be a legitimate main event guy. He is there. He's not on the cusp. He's there. He just needs to be in the title picture more often, but he's there. This guy is it. He's the real friggin' deal, and it's been wonderful to see. He's had this progression. He did have a little flub of a line, tuck your legs between your tail between your legs, and Cena capitalizing because that's what Cena does. How am I going to tuck my legs between my legs, Mom? Now, Cena and Teal. I know this isn't designing women here, but Jesus, Cena and Teal. Ugh, and I love blue. It was like an aqua teal fucking thing. I love blue. It's my favorite color, right, babe? Favorite color, blue. Say something, goddammit. Yeah, there we go. German people. Woo. Favorite color, and John Cena ruined it. Absolutely ruined my favorite color. So, he kind of killed the segment. When he came out, the segment started to die. I don't know why John Cena decided to come out there with a fucking knife and stab our segment that was going so well, but that's exactly what he did. But to their credit, once again, the Authority, who continues to not get the credit that they deserve, Stephanie McMahon and Triple H, delivers great promos, talks all kinds of good shit, especially Stephanie. It's really cool to see, and I love watching Stephanie talk. Maybe I'm infatuated with her. I think that's a big portion of my deal, because I would do illegal things to that woman. I mean, I'm telling you, I would just like 4 fingers deep in any orifice she'd let me. It just, What?
Here we go again.
What?
Jesus Christ, leave that woman alone.
What did I say?
You know what you said.
What did I say? You're telling me it's wrong to talk about... I'm lovingly sticking body parts of mine into her. That's love.
I don't think she wants that.
How do you know what Stephanie wants?
She has Triple H.
You're telling me that Triple H is better looking than I am? Is that what you're trying to say? Then go marry Triple H! You fuck!
Too late.
I'm getting divorced right here on fucking air. You want Paul Levesque? You go have Paul Levesque. That's Triple H's real name. Why did I even bother with you? Paul Levesque, man. What's the matter with you?
I only know he can butter.
Hickenbottom, yeah, Shawn Michaels. She knows Shawn Michaels' last name because as many nasty things as I do to Stephanie and Lana, she would lick pudding out of Shawn Michaels' butthole if he was here. Yes, you would.
Probably has a hairy butthole.
Shawn Michaels probably does have a hairy butthole. I don't know if anyone can pick that up that she just said that, but Shawn Michaels probably does have a hairy butthole. Anyways, moving on from all of that, the opening segment was okay, but like I said, Cena did kill it. Daniel Bryan, Bray Wyatt, first match of the night. It's abundantly clear now that Bryan is either not right or that he's protecting himself or he's really selling this neck injury. And I really think it's a combination of all three. I don't think he's 100%. I think he's obviously altering his wrestling style to protect him in the ring. And I believe he's really going above and beyond to sell this neck injury. So I think it's a combination. But if you couldn't see it in his first match back, you could clearly see it in this one. He is not taking moves the same way he was. He is being extra careful not to hit his neck and head on that mat. He's just not doing it. And something else I've noticed, his moveset has decreased quite a bit, and I think that might be temporary while he's getting back in the mix. But what he's doing is he's putting in these higher impact moves to kind of placate people. He'll still do the dive through the ropes, but it's nowhere near as reckless. And he lands much shorter because usually he would go into the barricade with his neck and back and stuff. Now he's landing on the floor. He's not going as hard, you could tell. And the Hurricanrana off the top rope that he does, when the Frankensteiner basically that he does, it's impressive, but you can see how safely he does it. It's obviously a move that he knows is going to get a crowd reaction, but he can do comfortably without worrying about really fucking himself up. So all these things I truly appreciate about what Daniel Bryan's trying to do. And I don't feel as of right now that it's taking away from his performances, especially when he's in there with a guy that he knows he can work with. He did it with Kane on SmackDown. He'll do it again this SmackDown. And on this week, he knows he can work well with Bray Wyatt, so it's completely fine. But I can't help it. Every time he goes to the top rope, every time he does something high risk, I hold my breath. I'm just like, And the other thing that I took from this match was, God, it's just, I'm not used to seeing Bray Wyatt fight in a normal wrestling match. It's been so long since I've seen it. It feels like that. And I know that he did have a match with Rowan not that long ago that was not a gimmick, but you're just kind of used to these gimmick matches. So it's interesting. There's a nice little backstage segment with Shawn Michaels and Triple H, Hall, Nash, X-Pac, Miz, Miz. It was a cool little segment. Very funny. They made reference to a lot of things, which is kind of cool. Shawn Michaels fucking with Triple H. I don't tell you how to go kill your defenseless animals. I mean, that was kind of a shot at Shawn there. That was cool. And the thing that I found interesting of what they said, which they had to know was going to draw a reaction from fanboys, and marks and shit, when he goes, "What kind of show are you running, Hunter?" And Hunter going, "I'm so ashamed." I think everybody had to be like, "Oh my God." It's almost cringeworthy because of how unhappy the IWC, and we know how important the IWC is, especially to Hunter, had to be like, "We're embarrassed too, you piece of shit." But, I'm not. This Raw was not fantastic, but it certainly wasn't bad. The Legends panel is next. Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, and HBK. I felt this was the point in the night where, because it didn't deliver the way it probably should have, it took away from the entire evening. They had an opportunity. There's no reason to sacrifice these legends at this point to make Big Show look stronger. I understand what they were doing was to make Reigns look strong. I get that. But it wasn't necessary. Big Show into the Rumble, it's the same thing. Big Show is going to look dominant, and then he's going to get taken out. Giants don't win these things. Big John Studd might be the biggest guy to ever win a fucking Rumble. I'm thinking. And he wasn't much bigger than Hogan. And Hogan is, he's a big fucking guy. But big guys generally, like Giant, fucking Andre and Big Show and Kali. They don't win these things. They never do. Mabel, these guys don't win them. And for a good reason. They're targets. They're huge targets. So there's no reason to protect him. And I think what would have been really great was Rick doing exactly what he did, did the chops and the punches. And when he realized they were having no effect, dropped to his knees and give one of his patented Ric Flair uppercuts right to the gigantic nutsack of the Big Show. And then when he drops down, Shawn super kicks his face off. And then as he's laying on the ground, Hogan drops the big leg. Do you realize that would have been a pop? That would have been a pop. It would have been huge. It would have been awesome to see. I would have loved to have seen that moment. But we didn't get that. Instead, we got, the Reigns coming out there, not saying a word, which is a good thing. Ric Flair getting knocked out. And then what I think happened was when Reigns threw him over the top rope, knocked him over the top rope, which really makes Big Show look weak anyway because he was easily taken over the top rope by one man. It kind of gives you a little foreshadowing of what's going to happen at Rumble, by the way, because if you're not thinking that Reigns is going to win this thing now, I think it's becoming painfully obvious that I'm wrong and so many other people are wrong in what's going to happen at Rumble, and I'll get into that in a moment. But when he got eliminated there, when he knocked him over the top rope, Big Show landed on his shoulder. And if you watch, it looks like his shoulder is separated. And the way he scampers back to the back and the look on his face, and more importantly, as he's going out, his shoulder definitely looked like it was forward. And it looked like it was separated in two spots. I've had that before. It sucks. It hurts. But you can still work on it, and you can still do things as long as it gets popped back in. It looked like his shoulder got popped out of place to me. And as long as there's no damage, there's no reason why he wouldn't, and he ultimately did, work the main event. So after that, the blah blah blah, yada yada yada. Not a lot of other stuff was going on. I probably missed something in there, but we got the NWO, and this is basically what. Oh wait, I'm sorry. That happened beforehand, my bad. And my note on all those, because I got my notes mixed up. Hall looked absolutely amazing. This was in that backstage segment. Nash looks like he always does. HBK looks ageless, and X-Pac looks stoned. My God, he does. I did during the Legend segment, I did notice that out of HBK, Hogan, and Flair, Shawn got the biggest reaction, which is not a surprise since it was in Texas. And it is Shawn friggin' Michaels. I'm wondering, in the standpoint of history, who of those three are looked at as a bigger star. And I'm thinking right now it's probably Shawn Michaels. So there was a lot of missed opportunities with that one. And then that would kind of be the theme. Missed opportunity until the ending. It was just missed opportunity after missed opportunity. Bad News Barrett versus Dean Ambrose. Probably the match of the night. I think it was better than the Bryan and Wyatt match. Barrett and Ambrose, they know each other well. They wrestle very well together. Ambrose is an absolute nut job, and I love watching him go. The really cool thing about Dean is he can sell these injuries, and he's been working with this knee injury for a while now, and he's selling it well. The crazy thing to me was he got the win. Holy shit, Dean Ambrose won a match. It's amazing. Oh, my God, that was my big note for this one. In big capital letters, holy shit, Ambrose wins the match. That's incredible. I believe I even tweeted it last night because I was live tweeting the event. So, sporadically live tweeting the event. But, yeah, it was crazy. Finally, he wins the match. Of course, it doesn't really mean much. Ziggler coming back, you're going to assume Ziggler is going to be getting that spot at Mania against Bad News Barrett. Or maybe he's just going to get the title shot at Fastlane and something else is going to be in the works. But who does Bad News Barrett take in the long run? Is this what we're going to see? Is Dean Ambrose being relegated to that spot? And is that the start of that tonight? I don't know. It's a really good question. The New Day comes out next, and oh my God, they have microphones. Oh no, they got microphones. And they were doing this weird preacher segment, and they're doing their segment, and rapping, not rapping, but preaching as they're coming down the aisle. The one interesting thing they said was, people want to say, New Day, why are you so positive all the time? Well, if we weren't positive, everybody in the locker room would be in the hospital if we gave in to our rage. I kind of like that because it's the first time that they've made reference to any type of darkness of theirs, and frankly, that's what I think most of us want to see. If you want to make the New Day interesting, this needs to be a heel faction. And I get that there's not a lot of top baby faces that matter, so creating new faces are important, but some guys are supposed to be face and some guys are supposed to be heel. You can see what they work better as. And I can't speak for individually because obviously Kofi is always going to be a better face than he will be a heel. But collectively, as the New Day, this is a heel faction. It is not a face faction. It should be a heel faction. They have a nothing match with Kid and Cesaro. Any fucking momentum that Kid and Cesaro may have had, it seems like it has been completely squashed with the pairing with Adam Rose. They've done nothing with Adam Rose's heel turn. It's meant nothing. They've done nothing of significance, and that's disappointing. I felt they had an opportunity with those two guys, with Kid and Cesaro and Adam Rose, to kind of make something, and they didn't, and that was disappointing. So this was I believe my second time of the night so far that I've gone, meh. That was at the end of my note, meh. The first one was the Legend segment. It was meh. And it's sad. NWO out next. Hall, once again, if you've been following Scott Hall over the last 10 years, you saw just how terrible he looked. I mean, he was as fat as I am at one point. He was so bulbous, and he was drinking and drugging himself to death. You've seen all these videos of him embarrassing himself on the internet, but god damn, he's turned it around. I hope it's legit. I hope he's better because, God, I love Scott Hall. I always have. He had the tools he had a great career, but he had the physical gifts, the microphone skills, and the in-ring ability to be one of the greatest of all time. It fell short for a lot of reasons, but fuck was that guy good. And people forget just how good. The greatest punch thrown by anybody maybe in wrestling history is Scott Hall. Those punches looked so good. They always did, and they looked vicious and brutal and stiff. The greatest punch in history is probably Scott Hall. I think Stone Cold's is up there too in my book. So they're all talking. Sean Waltman doing his thing. Man, Sean Waltman just always looks the same. It's easy to look the same when it looks like you just rolled out of bed, put on a bandana, and walked out the fucking door. Smoke a little weed and walk out the fucking door. And that's what he did. That's what X-Pac does. Makes no bones about it. That is what Sean Waltman does. He maybe he goes and fucks China in the closet. I have no idea. They get interrupted by the Ascension. This is probably my favorite segment of the night outside of the... I had my favorite match tonight, but I think this is my favorite segment because this is, okay, things were starting to turn. But even this felt like they could have done more with the moment. The Ascension comes out, talk a little shit. They got to get better. They have got to up their mic game. But it felt like it was what was written for them, not what they were delivering. That was the problem. I don't know. And it doesn't take long before JBL gets involved, and we knew where this was going, the APA. Fuck Ron Simmons, man. I'm so... I'm not saying fuck Ron Simmons. I'm saying fuck, Ron Simmons. My God. He looked horrible. He barely made it down the ramp. What happened? What's going on? I feel bad. Is something wrong with Ron Simmons that I don't know about? Because he did not look good to me. It took him like 50 seconds to get down that fucking ramp. And, so they come out and they're about to get involved. And then, oh, you didn't know? Yo ass, they don't say ass no more. Better call somebody. You damn right. And it was great. The New Age Outlaws, which I never get tired of seeing because I love me some badass and road dog action. It's always good. They get involved in it, and it's a good little moment. And they're the ones who actually attack the Ascension, and we're going to have an Ascension versus New Age Outlaws match at the Royal Rumble. This is a good way to put the Ascension over. I think they should have a really dominant match. And I'm getting the wrap it up sign from the wife because I do got to get going here soon. But I got a few more minutes. I know I got to walk up there. Thanks for fucking reminding me, Germano. You want to fight? I'll fight you on camera. I'll fight a woman. I'll fight you. I don't fight her. She scares me. But I would have liked to see a little bit more out of this segment. I would have loved to have seen Harlem Heat. Maybe even like, I know it's far-fetched, but the Steiner Brothers thing would have been really cool. There's a couple things they could have done, but Booker getting up, and especially in Texas, and bringing out Stevie Ray would have been really, really cool. And I thought they might be going that way when they specifically, when the Ascension specifically said a WCW tag team. And it's kind of hard to argue that Harlem Heat is probably the best tag team to come out of WCW. The Steiners had careers in both, and yeah, the great tag team, but they didn't hold as many titles as Harlem Heat did, and they weren't as dominant, I don't think. So after that, after the destruction of the Ascension, and now we're going to have that match at Royal Rumble, we get the Divas match, and I'm just like, fuck it, I can't even talk. I don't even want to talk about this. All I know is when I saw Brie and Nikki on commentary, I just want to throw a sandwich at Brie. I just want to hit that bitch with a fucking sandwich. Eat a carbohydrate. Fuck. Eat something. I'll lend you some of my fat if you want. Fuck. Driving me insane. Throw this fucking bitch a pork chop. This woman needs to eat. Scary thin. Scary thin. There's unhealthy. I mean, Nikki is thin and she's attractive and looks healthy. Brie does not. Brie looks unhealthy and sickly and look like fucking Skeletor. It scares me. Callista Flockhart's skinny. That's not good. Fuck. When you fuck her, you're hitting too many bones. Your dick is getting caught in bones. It's not fucking good. So that was a do-nothing match. Paige, great, wonderful. And now we're going to get a tag team match between the Bellas and Natty and Paige. I could give a shit less. It was not a good match. I like the Paige tap out. But other than that, didn't give a shit. Rusev and R-Truth, they gave R-Truth an entire fucking, 3 minutes to rap. And, meh. Rusev destroys him. Who gives a shit? It's R-Truth. Fuck. Did nothing for Rusev. Does nothing for Truth. Lana doesn't even do anything of note. And you know how much I love me some Lana. Get caught. Don't get me started talking because I'll get caught in a Lana pussy vortex. And we don't want that to happen. So I got to go. Jey Uso versus The Miz. Again, my note is meh. This is a meh. Again, it was just a nothing match. Sandow does a little bit of shtick, but not that good. It wasn't great. I don't know what to say. It was meh. It was a meh. I don't know. So there was that, and I didn't really care. There's a bunch of matches. The majority of the matches I just did not give a crap about. So the main event. Big Show, Kane, and Rollins versus Cena with the stipulation that if Cena loses, he's out of the World Heavyweight Championship match. But if he wins, Ziggler, Rowan, and Ryback get their jobs back. So everybody kind of knew it was going to. When that stipulation was made, we knew it was going to happen. The match was okay. It was mainly punishment for Cena, getting the crap kicked out of him the entire time. Every time that he got the upper hand, Triple H would get involved. The J&J security would get involved. It basically turned into 7-on-1, which, we expected. The odds had to be great. And then when it looked like the final blow was about to be dealt, we saw a picture of Sting on the screen. And I loved it. JBL, my God. I really do feel that aside from the main event, the commentary was really bad last night. Really bad. Booker T, I'm looking at you, buddy. But the main event, they did it right. The commentary was very good. And he goes, that's not Sting. That's a picture of Sting. I'm like, oh, my God, JBL. What the hell's the matter with you? But it wasn't just a picture. It was Sting. And he looked really good. Did anyone notice how much better Sting looked this time than he did last time? Sting walking last time didn't look good. He looked like he was doing a waddle, like he was having to put his whole ass in between every single step he took. This time he looked much better. He looked like he's been working out. He looks like he's in shape. I love the new paint scheme. That was really cool. I loved it. I loved everything about it. And, of course, the distraction, the coming down, pointing, you. I loved that. I fucking loved it. It chills. I was like, yes. And then Triple H, Rollins getting FU'd, AA'd, excuse me. And then beaten, or no, I think it's just a roll-up, wasn't it? I can't remember. It was whatever. Cena won, and he got the hell out of there. Triple H throws a fit. I'm like, well, how could things get worse for Triple H right now? dun, 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 dun. Yeah. She knows. She knows. Here comes the pain. It's Brock Lesnar. And Brock just decided, this is what Brock needs to do all the time. Come out and just destroy people, maul people, kill people, fucking eat people's faces off. I want to see him cut the fucking Big Show's face off of his head and eat it. I know, and throw it on the fucking ground. That's what I want to see out of Brock Lesnar. He's the beast and the best. I fucking love Brock Lesnar when he's like this. When they utilize him correctly, he's worth every penny they give him. And they utilized him right last night because he beat the shit out of Kane. He beat the shit out of Big Show, and he got a little bit of piece of Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins sold it well, running away, because I wouldn't want to fight Lesnar for any amount of money, to be honest. And I'm not afraid of much. I've been to war. I've been to Iraq. I've seen some shit. But I would not you could not pay me. Well, you could, because I'm a whore. You could pay me. There is a number to slap Brock Lesnar in the face. I don't know what that number is, but I would do it for a specific number. But I'd be scared, and you're going to pay my hospital bills on top of the number that you pay me. Very simple, because I'm going to get killed, and I know that. So other than that, I felt it was the show overall. I gave it about a 5 to 6. It's hard to really rank it. It was not probably lower as a 5, maybe 5.5. It just wasn't a great show. There were some great moments, and the main event fucking saved it. And I'm super stoked for Royal Rumble still, but I feel like we know what's going to happen. Sting, he'll get involved again, and we're going to have Sting and Triple H at WrestleMania now. We know that's happening for sure. Bray Wyatt continuing to look strong, getting a victory over Daniel Bryan. Now we know for sure that it's going to be him and The Undertaker probably. If not, for nothing else, why else keep him this strong? So everything that I've wanted to happen, The Undertaker coming back, now I'm getting less convinced that he's going to be getting involved in this main event match at Royal Rumble, and that means Lesnar's definitely going to retain. And if he retains, Bryan's not going to win. It doesn't look like he's going to win anyway. This is a perfect screw job opportunity. And then we're going to get Reigns and Lesnar. I mean, it's just like all of this stuff is trickling down, and I'm not liking where it's going. But all these questions have to be asked. What are we going to do with Rollins then? Is Rusev going to be with Cena? There's all these questions. I don't know. But I think that's about going to wrap it up. I've got to go. My wife's freaking out. She's like, you have an appointment, because I got to get this haircut. Ooh, woo, woo. I got to go get this mopped up. That's not too bad, but it definitely needs to get cut. But thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate all the support. Make sure you check out all my merchandise. New shirt coming, by the way. A Daved in the Face shirt is coming. And that'll be on with everything else. Dead on Dave Productions or whatever. deadondave.spreadshirt.com. Check that out. Make sure you're checking out Joe Cronin Show. Subscribe to him. Subscribe to me. Subscribe to Dave Rose. Subscribe to Tommy C. Subscribe to everybody. Your mama needs a subscription. Everybody needs a subscription. So make sure you're checking all that stuff out. A really wild show last night on Joe Cronin Show. If you have time, go check out that train wreck. It was insane. I get called a lot of names by this guy. This one dude calls in and tells me to rub honey all over my titties and then kill myself in the ring. That happened. I'm not making it up. It was crazy. It was absolutely insane. And I was all in for the honey on my titties. I'm like, yeah, it's good for the skin and I can lick it off later. Made sense to me. What? What am I saying now?
You like sticky stuff.
I don't like sticky stuff, but
Honey is sticky.
Well, yes, I know that, but I can lick it off, or you can lick it off, or we can hire it.
Lick it off yourself.
I'm pretty fat. I can get my titty up there.
What about the rest of it?
Well, I have to use my finger. That's not sexy?
No, go get your haircut.
I gotta get my hair cut. She's being very mean to me. She said I'm not sexy. She doesn't fuck me, ever. If any girls out there want a piece of Dave cake, you just let me know. I'm available. I gotta go. She's giving me the stink eye. Things are gonna get thrown at me. Anarchy, chaos. Like, subscribe, share. See you guys later. Peace.